Today I'm actually filming a barn tour, which is very exciting, and this is of my dream barn. That being said, it's not, you know, everyone's kind of dream barn because it's what I want. It is with the budget that we had, and it's for my number of horses, and it's for this property. It's not like a 20 stall dream barn with like amazing features everywhere. It's very, not basic, but it's very simple. Like there's only 3 stalls in it, or there will be. Still not done, as you will very much see, and it will be finished in the next 1 to 2 months. I think I'll say finished, but it will probably continue to have things be done to it for a while, like the doors. I'm not sure when they're being put on and all that sort of thing. I thought it was going to take a lot shorter time than it has, and I feel like that's a thing that happens with pretty much all building projects and everything like that. It was actually started in January, like that's when we got rid of the other stable that was here, and we moved it up to the top of our property for winter because it's so wet down here, and then everything very slowly has been moving along. The panels took 2.5 months to be built, so that took a while because we didn't actually order them until this structure was up, because I thought it would kind of be pre-made panels, but they were custom done for the space that we have, so they've taken a little while. And with that, I'm just going to go ahead and give you guys a tour on a very messy, very much under construction still barn. Alright, so we're going to start the tour from here, which is pretty much the approach to the place. So you drive down here and the float will hopefully be parked in there when I'm not really riding in the middle of winter, because I usually have a month break. This is the oval arena, as I call it, because it's an oval shape, and then here is the brand new dream barn, which obviously I'm very excited about. This is all going to be spread around here where all this bark is. Like the bark's going to be cleared off and then it'll be spread around, and then when it's kind of compacted, it's literally like this, like literally a road surface, which is nice. And then there's obviously a lot of trash around. I'm very sorry that it's not very aesthetically pleasing at the moment. And that is a little horse paddock, which you may remember if you've watched my other barn tour from about a year ago. I think I did it maybe a year and a bit. Also, yes, I do have the lights on. Alright, let's go in. Now here you can obviously see this is very much still under construction. This is the tack room, or the outside of the tack room more or less, and this is all going to be Tasmanian Jarrah, which will also match the stable panels, which you will see when it's all done. I am very keen for the panels to be in. They look absolutely stunning, and hopefully the tack room will look just as nice. And then up here we have the loft, which will actually be getting a ladder so you can go up there and store stuff up there. But I'm actually really keen to sleep up there in summer if I can, because how cool would it be to just like spy on the horses in the stable from up there. Okay, so let's go into the tack room and I'll show you guys how it's going in there. I'm actually going to do a whole video of me doing the tack room up and everything like that, and getting it from before this point, because I actually filmed constructing this IKEA thing and getting it to completely finished, or at least as close as I can get it. As you can see, the lights in here are the lights that do these stupid lines all over the camera, which is very, very irritating. I am pretty annoyed about it, but they look cool. I'll show you what the lights look like. I love how they kind of sit in there in the beams. We decided to leave it open, but now I've kind of realized there's going to be so many spider webs in here once all the spiders and stuff settle in. But this is pretty much like a bedroom. Like I could sleep in here if I wanted. This is what we decided to do for the saddle rack. I'll put on the screen now what the inspiration was, and this is our version of it. We decided to do it, or Dad actually, not me, decided to do it as white, Not entirely sure why. I did ask him, but I can't remember what it was now. And then the other light is up there, which is cool because it will shine down on my saddles when it's not all messy. I had to put all my stuff in here because when I went to Melbourne, I was using the horse float, so all the stuff that was in the horse float had to be moved in here. Yes, I did put a mirror in here already, a full-length mirror. This is a mirror that I use for trade shows. I did have it in my bedroom, but at Melbourne or on the way it got all scuffed up there, so now it is in the tack room, and it is also going to be for trade shows still. That is an incredibly messed up sweeping broom that has been outside, and I just used it to sweep in here. That is a blow heater because I am a sook that can't handle the cold. And this is the IKEA, I can't remember what it's called exactly, but it cost a fair bit. I think it was about $500. But yeah, I'm gonna have show stuff, saddle pads, more saddle pads, probably more saddle pads because I have too many, and then extra stuff like boots and all that probably down there. I'm gonna put my helmets and stuff in another IKEA shelf thing that I got for the trade show at Melbourne International. This place is going to be pretty much decked out with things that I am going to use for trade shows, aka like stalls at Melbourne International and Adelaide International with my clothing line. So here we have a window, which is just a simple window, but I'm kind of obsessed with it because you can look out into the horse's paddock, which they're not in there at the moment. But when we were building the IKEA thing, this thing, Pino came up and was like, what is this? What is this room? Let me in, it's cold out here. And you can open it up. There's like a fly screen, but I probably won't leave it open at all because otherwise they will probably put their head through the fly screen and then they'll freak out and hurt themselves. Because horses, pretty much. That's all like the lights and everything there. Alright, so this across from the tack room is a stall, or will be a stall. It hasn't had the flooring go in yet. Dad is currently spreading more of this stuff. I can't remember what this is called, but it's what we use for the road surface and everything here. And it pretty much goes almost completely solid. It obviously isn't here, but out there, when you compact it enough, it goes pretty solid. And the reason why we have to do this so much is because underneath here is actually a spring, so heaps of water always comes up in winter and everything and makes everything wet, so we have to really seal the ground. Like, it can't be a stall that kind of everything goes out into the ground, because otherwise everything will come up from the ground and it will be permanently wet in winter. This is actually the wash bay, so this will be concreted, and then it will also have rubber on it, and then it also doubles as, this is one of my favorite things ever, so when I absolutely do not want to be outside very much in the middle of winter and it's raining and everything. So this contraption, I'm so confused by it. I think you do this and then it opens, yeah. And then you can go straight onto the oval arena. How cool is that? And then obviously go straight into here. So you can only get wet when you're outside. Well, yeah, you can only get wet while you're actually riding, and then you can go back into a nice warm, probably not warm, but dry barn, which I've never had before and I'm so excited about. Here we have the outside of the barn from the arena. So originally we just had these two top lights, which I think were supplied by the people who made the actual barn. And then these two yellower looking lights are from eBay, which Dad got. Yes, that is a neck rug, completely covered in sand because we fed the horses off it. Anyway, these agapanthus here will be relocated when it's all up and running. Looks nice. Literally every single person that has seen it on Instagram and then seen it in real life has been like, it looks so much bigger on Instagram. So yeah, just keep in mind it's only 12 by 12 meters, so it's not the biggest thing, it's just very tall because Dad wanted to make sure it was tall enough, which it definitely is. This is all fully enclosed so the horses can, and as you can see by the manure in here, they have been using this as a mini yard paddock thingo. So here we have it from this side. Obviously it looks very, very grand and huge. It's really not as big as it looks. I'm just telling you now, because everyone's told me that. So here are the original yards, just to give you some kind of perspective on where we are. Yes, Dexter was recently in here. Mum put him in here even though he hates being in here, and he did dig another trench. But yeah, this first yard Dad completely cleared all the mud out, so it's just the original dolomite surface, which is what these used to look like, but there is mud in there now as well. And so I'll show you where the new feed room is going. So no, we don't have the feed shed actually in here. We will have it here, which is quite small. We're going to have like a little lean-to thing, which will be the same tin material, like the exact same look and color and everything. And that will just lean out over here. I think we're still putting a little 1 meter by 2 meter water tank, A, to get rainwater from here because water is very precious in Australia, and B, so it's kind of like a wall so the horses can't reach over and get the feed. It will be a wall there, and then there's going to be a wall on the back that'll be the same material. Yes, this is Jeff's repurposing of trees at its finest, aka my dad. I filmed this yesterday and the water droplet was going directly into the bucket and it was really satisfying, but now it's not. So this is the horse's yard. It looks horrible in winter, which is why we don't have them in here, because it's too wet. In summer it's alright, we're letting it grow back with some grass, not that there's very much grass in here usually. As for this thing, I don't know, we'll probably cut it up and put it somewhere, might use it as a jump, not sure. But it's kind of just stayed in here for the whole time and the horses don't really care about it or anything. And I feel like leaving this sort of stuff in their paddocks helps them get a bit more sure-footed and not be so stupid. Like not just run into things blatantly, or it just makes them run into things and then they learn. So let's go in. Yes, this is why I hate this kind of material, but wood was just far, far too expensive to do, obviously, for this amount of space. At least in Australia, yeah, it dents like that. And I'm just waiting for the horses to put more dents in it, to be quite fair with you. But yeah, that's from Dad leveling this surface here. So this is Dexter stable, which is a double stable and has, obviously, as you can see, rubber flooring, and it has very, very high kickboards. Not sure if he'll be kicking that high anytime soon, but you never know. Yeah, look, no, I don't think he will be. And this is all insulated, so as you can see, this is the insulation, and it's so it doesn't make that much of, wait, that was where it was hollow. It doesn't make that much of a noise compared to what it could. Like usually it would kind of rattle the whole building if a horse did that. And the insulation is also just for it being slightly warmer or cooler in summer or warmer in winter. Now this is us horse proofing it. This was hollow before, but we filled it with this plywood so horses don't kill themselves in there. This is also going to be fixed because horses will probably kill themselves on that as well, or at least injure themselves on that. This shed wasn't built by a horse shed company. It was just a basic shed company that built it, and Dad designed the whole thing because Dad's very good with architecture and everything like that. So it was all very cheap in that sense. Like Dad just drew up the whole thing probably like 4 or 5 years ago, but we just haven't had enough money to do it until now. So as you can see, that's the loft, so it will literally look directly down into this stable. There's that stable, and yeah, this is our temporary feed room. As you can see, yeah. This is literally 2 weeks worth of feed. We go through a lot of feed with 5 horses. and 2 old horses that now require a fair bit of food. These are literally $32 a bale. They are pretty much gold in the sense of hay, I don't know. But yeah, they literally put their prices up to $32 a bale. It's sugar-free hay. It's the only thing that stops Dexter from having head shaker syndrome, so we have to get it. Loving life over here right now. Yeah, this is all our feed and our dog's feed, so dog's feed, dog's food. And that's pretty much it, I think. Dad decided to do kind of like windows along there, like we could have just put clear all the way along, but he wanted it to look kind of checkered, which looks really cool, but it's not quite as light in here as it could be. So yes. Yes, yes, yes. I don't even know that I've looked at it from this angle before, but it looks so cool. But this is it from inside the horse's paddock. I forgot to say also there's going to be 2 windows matching this one that will be so the horses can look out from the stable. I really wanted doors, or a single door, so horses could go straight into the stable and then out of the stable whenever they wanted, but it was just too expensive to do in the end, sadly. So the next best thing was having a window, so at least then they can look out and see their friends out here or whatever else. Plus I just love the thought of having a window where a horse can like peek its little head out and look cute. So I'm gonna leave you guys here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're as excited as I am for this all to be finished. I will do a whole video of pretty much it being built from the start, or at least what it looked like before, and building the whole shell of it, and then little bits and pieces of things gradually going on. If you guys want to see any more of it being built or anything like that, I have a whole highlight reel pretty much from when the stables were moved. The old stables that were on this surface were moved up to the top of the hill. I have from that to pretty much now all on my Instagram highlights for stable building or something along those lines. So you can follow me there. I'm a lot more active on Instagram now because I find it's a lot easier because it takes less time and everything like that than doing big videos like this. So yeah. And for those interested, this is now, hello sweet face. This is now where the horses are, or at least Jerry and Pino are. Dexter is down there, and the old horses are also down there. You can kind of see, you can see the float, which we use as a feed room, kind of just there. There is the new barn. So this is the paddock that we're now using in winter because it's a lot drier up here in the scrub. Except Pino went for his little run around yesterday and did a loop and a loop and another loop and another loop while I was riding Jerry, and so his is pretty muddy now. Hello Jerry. Hello sweetie pie. What do you want? And that is the dressage arena that you can see up there. So everything's very spread out, which I don't like about this place, but we have to make it all around the vines because the primary source of income of my parents and everyone around me is vineyards and wine. So the horses, less important than wine, at least for this property. Not for me though. You're very important to me. So yeah, for those interested, this is where we relocated the horses to for winter, and this is the new stable. They'll only be up here for probably about 2 months of the year, the 2 wettest months, or 3 months maybe like June, July, August, because that is the wettest time for us here, and then the rest of the time, and for the competition season and everything, they're going to be living down there in the stable. Not just in the stable, but in the paddocks around the stable. Like there's a paddock there that's all electric fencing and everything. And this place is just gradually coming along. We can't afford to do it all at once, and we do it all pretty budget. Like, as you can see, instead of always buying these expensive posts, as you can see, we use trees. And another tree, and another tree, and another tree, and another tree. and we only used one strap here and it's a rubber strap, so don't worry, they're not going to try get under and then break their back or anything. It's just rubber, or it's plastic. I can't remember if it's, no, it's definitely plastic, not rubber, sorry. What do you want? Yeah, this is our fairly budget way of doing things, or at least trying to save money where we can. And that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you like my ugly, dirty horse. And I'll see you soon.